door knocking for real estate still works. Door knocking for real estate agents. In other words, canvassing. I didn't hear the word canvassing until much later when I started in real estate. But this is how I started doing business in real estate. My first day, I started door knocking. And so I've outlined some things for you to go over, and we can talk about them here. I've got a Google Doc for you. If you need this, I'll send it to you on Instagram. Just message me. Here's what I'm calling it: door knocking tips for real estate agents. But what is door knocking? Well, it's when you pick an area and you've got something to give to the homeowner that picks up the phone, that answers the door. And then you start talking to them, and then you build this relationship with them because you're going to put them into your CRM, or hopefully you are. Anyway, the idea of door knocking is to get business by getting to know the people in the area that you're door knocking. But there's a strategy behind it. The first thing I'd like to tell you is timing. Now, I learned this much later, but I put here, when is the best time to knock on doors? And for me, it was, if you're going to go weekdays, it's going to be 3 to 5 p.m., usually right after the kids are picked up and now they're home. And if you're going to go on the weekend, it's typically Saturday in the mornings is the day that I prefer, or later in the day on Sunday. And that's after church. There are a lot of people who still go to church, so there's that as well. Now, here are some reasons if you need reasons, and I have key goals for door knocking. Building rapport with homeowners, of course, just introducing yourself. Establish yourself as a local expert, a person that has all the resources for the community, for the area. Setting listing appointments by offering valuable insights and providing free information about the market, right? That's hopefully you get those listing appointments. Gathering names and contact information and permission to follow up by putting them in your database, right? That is the key, putting them in a newsletter and reinforcing your other marketing efforts, because chances are, if you're doing this right, they're going to see you in other places. Social media, retargeting ads. Hopefully you've got a great website and you're doing Google pay-per-click maybe in the future. You have open house signs. It gets out there, right? All right, so let's get started. Tip number 1, write this one down. Get a pen and paper. Don't just memorize this one. If you are going to door knock, please have a strategy behind it. I had a little bit of a strategy when I first started on my very first day as a real estate agent. Hold on, let me take a sip of this coffee. Oh, that's good. Okay. Tip number 1, map your journey out. I had actually mapped it out. I started in 2004. I remember printing out the map and telling myself where I was going to go. So I didn't have a phone, like an iPhone, and be like, I'm going to go this way, I'm going to go this way, right? So I would suggest that you map it out, just at least know where you're going and hopefully how many doors you're going to get through. I remember my stats. It was 13 people I would talk to in about an hour. But remember, that number has gone down a little bit over the years that we're tracking because of the rings. And a lot of these areas have rings on their front doors, and you get to talk to a lot of people on the rings. So you've got to have a good script, right? Oh, good dialogue, natural dialogue. Map out your journey. Number 2, dress comfortably and professionally. Now, first day, I went out suited up, tie, suit, dress shoes. By the end of the first week, and I started in May, I was sweating. And I was like, sunny, summer's about to start in Los Angeles. This isn't going to work long term. So I switched. I put a nice dress shirt, unbuttoned at the top, and nice slacks. And I started getting better, comfortable shoes. Nowadays, I would say when I was super dressed up, because I still did it every now and then, I would get people yelling at me saying, hey, we don't want your kind here. They were referring to Jehovah's Witness. By the way, I realized that after when I reached one guy and he said, when I asked him, hey, what do you mean by you guys? He's like, Jehovah's Witness. I'm like, oh, got it. I'm a real estate agent. He's like, oh, okay, well, I'm not interested anyway. but I realized that just dressing down enough to not scare people and to not make people feel like you are all business, it really connects with them. So when I go door knocking, now you can do you, but when I go door knocking, I wear I have a uniform, right? If you're watching on YouTube, my black V-neck shirt, and I've got a nice pair of jeans, usually darker colored or regular jeans. And I prefer super comfortable tennis shoes that are going to allow me to walk a long period of time. And that's how I go out. You do you do your area. Tip number 3, create collateral to leave behind. I did this on my first day. I printed out homes that had sold in the area and also comparables. Hey, this is how much this community is approximately worth. And I would say, the same thing works very well, or a community newsletter that's printed out. Both work incredibly well. I would door knock. They would say, yeah, hi, I'm Tristan. I'm a neighbor. I knocked on my neighbors. I'm a neighbor. I've got this great flyer. Just shows you what's going on in the neighborhood, just all the homes that have sold. And I'm giving it out to everyone. And I just would stick my hand out and give it out. And they would normally open up the screen door or the door, and then they would take it. And I say, great, well, if you know anybody close by that's thinking of selling, I'd love to know about them so we could help them out. Anybody you know? And then they'd say, oh, well, no, not really, right? And they're not really paying attention to you. They're eyeing you. They're taking a look at you. They're just, they're being careful. They want to make sure they're safe, right? So the next question would be, well, if you know anybody, let me know. By any chance, have you thought about moving anytime soon? Or are you pretty happy where you're at? And then just shut up and listen. And then they usually, at that time, they usually say one of two things. Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to die here, or I'm going to stay here. Not really, or maybe. Or they're going to say, oh, maybe, what's your name? And then they'll be like, oh, there's a real person in front of me. I'm safe. Let's talk to this person. But anyway, that really helped out, giving them something. Number 4, respect no soliciting signs. I usually... Back in the day, I tried both, and I would say I did okay with the no soliciting signs, but I changed my tune much later. And I thought, if they have a no soliciting sign, I'm going to respect it. I don't want to make a bad name for real estate agents. And so now I skip those. Every once in a while, I still door knock around a listing that we have or an open house just so I can get some practice. And it still feels great. It still feels the same. I like door knocking. Now, not all areas are designed for door knocking. So remember that. Skip the no soliciting signs. That's what I suggest. Number 5, know local market trends and provide value. This is almost a no-brainer, but I'm surprised at how many people don't do their research before they go out and go to an area and door knock, or even do open houses. I need you to know all of the homes in the community that have sold in the last 6 months, because I can guarantee you when you talk to somebody and you're going back and forth, they are going to bring up, oh, that house over on so-and-so street sold. Do you know how much that sold for? Or, that track? Or they're going to bring up something. And I need you to know what's sold, what's active, and hopefully what's coming out soon too. And then you'll get to know all the neighbors this way. The neighbors will tell you about the other neighbors and about the other things. And it gets a little crazy. It's fun. I would say when you're providing value, also not just verbally, but you're giving them something of value, right? Like I said, leave collateral behind. Make sure it's actual value, right? Don't just go and door knock just to door knock. Number 6, be ready for rejection and know how to exit gracefully. There were people will be like, no, get out of here. No, I don't want anything. No, and just say it. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day. Just move on to the next. Does it hurt sometimes? Yeah, it hurts sometimes, right? And Number 7 kind of goes with this one. Number 7 is keep yourself safe. I've had people yell at me pretty aggressively. I've had one person pull a gun on me one time, and it was a shotgun. And I just want you to know that, if at any point you don't feel safe, don't do it. Just don't do it. Step away. And if you feel like maybe you're in an area or you're talking to somebody that's just, you're not feeling it, make sure that when you go door knocking, you tell people, have somebody track you, right? Carry an air tag or turn on your location, let people know where you're going, right? And feel free to put on your earpiece and talk to somebody as you're going through, right? Saying, hey, I'm just going to talk to you as I door knock for an hour. Are you okay with that? And then when I find somebody, I'll just don't talk to me as I talk to the person. So I've also had friends do that recently as well. So keep yourself safe. Number 8, follow up with all connections. This was my biggest mistake. I wish I didn't commit this one early on, but please put everyone into a CRM and put them on a newsletter. When you finish talking to them, I would say, make sure you let them know, hey, great talking to you, Joe. Listen, I have a newsletter for the community. It keeps everyone updated what's going on. And homes are selling for this price and values are going up or down. What's your email address? And I'll send it over to you. This way you get it weekly or monthly, however you do it. And then they're going to give it to you and do it exactly like I said. Don't say, hey, can I have your email address? Just say, what's your email address? And then once you get it, put it into your CRM for a newsletter. And if you're looking for a simple newsletter that you don't have to create on your own monthly, Home Actions is a good company. I don't own it. I don't have anything to do with it. Just think it's super simple. And then there's a bonus one. As I was walking, I remember, and if you're watching on YouTube, I'm just holding up a piece of paper and a pen. I remember when I used to do this daily for about between 2 to 3 hours every day. I would have a piece of paper and I would have a pen and I'd walk around like that. And then I would just talk to people, and then anybody I'd talk to, I would write down their name and their email address if I got it, and their phone number and their home address. And if I talked to them and they didn't give me anything, I would put a little check mark and be like, oh, talk to this person, check, talk to this person. This is how I know I talked to 13 people in an hour on average for an average track. Townhomes, I talked a little bit more, and estates, those big luxury homes, which I have door knocked in luxury homes many times, I would find about 7 people home in an hour because they're more spread out. But that would be my bonus one. And remember, give it a try. If you've never tried it, I enjoy it. I still enjoy it. Just different in different areas. If you have any questions about this, let me know. Have an awesome day.